Now that we've got our planner and sample contexts and sample tasks entered, let's go ahead and talk about how to enter the next steps, the log, and the resources underneath each one of the tasks. Now, I want to divide this topic into two different lessons. In this first one, we're just going to speak very mechanically about how to do that, and we're going to leverage Rome's templating functionality and show you how that works to really minimize the amount of repetitive work that you need to do in your graph. And then in the next lesson, what we'll do is we'll talk in a little bit more detail about what each one of those next steps, log, and resources are, and I'll show you some examples of how I use them. So starting out here with the mechanics, I'm going to go ahead and place my cursor at the end of this line for the first task that I created. And then I'm going to hit return and tab to nest a bullet underneath there. And now there's really nothing to this next step. All I'm going to do is type the word next step here with a colon. I'm going to hit return, and then I'm going to type log with a colon, and then hit return one more time and type resources. And then what I would do is simply come down here to the next task and do the same thing. So I would do this for each one of these. Now you'll notice that this is very repetitive, right? I just did the exact same thing for both of these steps. And as you increasingly start to use Rome, excuse me, you'll find more and more of these use cases where you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again. And this is where Rome's templating functionality comes in really handy. So what I'm going to do is move my cursor actually out here to the very top of my weekly productivity planner. And then I'm going to hit return to give myself a new bullet here that is not nested underneath the weekly productivity planner. I do want to mention that this next step that I'm about to engage in can be done anywhere in your Roam graph. It does not matter where you do this. I'm going to choose to do it here on the daily notes page just because that's where I'm at. So again, just keep that in mind with templating moving forward, is that this step I'm about to show you, you can do anywhere in your graph. I'm going to go ahead and give myself the double brackets, and then I'm going to type the word Roam /templates. You can see that popped up in my auto suggest because I've already done this in my graph in other areas. So I'll go ahead and click on that, but you'll probably be entering that from scratch if you're brand new to Roam. And then right after that, I want to enter a title. So in this case, the title that I'm going to choose is new task entry. Okay, and we'll come back and show you sort of how that title appears in just a moment. So again, for now, you just need this double brackets, Roam /templates inside of there. And then next to that, you're going to want to enter like a friendly or descriptive title that is meaningful to you. Next, I'll hit return and then tab. So again, nesting it underneath there. And then what I'm going to do is just replicate what I've typed here. So nested underneath this Roam templates line, you just want to type exactly what you want to have drop in when you enter your template. So next step, colon, log, colon, and resources. Okay, and that's it. That's all there is to it. And now what I'll show you is if I come down here to this third task and place my cursor here and hit return and then enter to indent under there. And then what I'm going to do is type the semicolon key twice. And you'll notice that when I do that, it brings up an auto suggest entry of some new templates or the existing templates, I should say, within my Roam graph. So I'll go ahead and click on the new task entry. And there you go. My template has now been entered. I do want to mention here that what you're watching is a second version of this productivity section of the course. So I've redone this. In the initial version of it, I did not cover Roam templates. I've decided in the second version that I did want to introduce those here. So as you work through the course, you are going to get a refresher on this. You're going to see templates introduced again later in the course, but I did want to mention that here very quickly. So now moving back through, we'll blast through the last part of this lesson real quickly here. I will put my cursor at the end of each one of these tasks. And again, all I'm going to do is hit enter and then tab to nest under there. I'm going to hit the semicolon key twice. I'm going to select new task entry and hit return. And again, I'm just going to do that very quickly for the rest of these. I should mention that you can also start typing, obviously, for your autofill. So as you get more and more templates in your graph, that is a handy thing to know about. Okay, Great. So now I have gone ahead and entered my placeholder for the next step, log, and resources using Rome's templating function.